Hello guys. So this is day two of our checkpoint firewall. In fact, that should be day one because today I'm starting the real things. And the day one was actually I was telling about that what are the topics I'm going to cover in this course. Okay. So all of the first, I'm going to tell you that what the firewall is. Okay. So let's just understand that what is actually a firewall. I hope most of you might be aware of that one, but still, let me explain you. So you guys are very much familiar that what is a router, right? So it is basically taking decisions based on the routing tables. And same thing about the switch, it is taking the route decisions based on the MAC table, right? So these are the networking devices, router and the switches. And in the same series, we are having the firewall. But firewall is a little bit different from the previous one. Although you might not be having a very good knowledge of the router or switches, but still, I hope you will be having basic level of understanding, and that is quite sufficient to go ahead for the firewalls. So if I talk about the firewalls, so this is actually a flow based device. Okay. We normally call it as a flow based. Why we call it as a flow based? For that thing, we have to understand the functionality of this. Okay. So let me draw a diagram for that one. Let's say whatever I'm telling you, that is basically applicable for all of the firewall, not just for the checkpoint. So whenever we are having any of the firewall, and let's say this is your computer, or we can say your enterprise network. Okay, I'm talking about this is your enterprise network. Enterprise network means this is your, let's say, your company, or it's not your company, then you are an individual user. That's also does not matter, that you are directly connecting to the firewall. So, and other side, we are having an internet. So internet is just full of all the things, good or bad, guys. We don't know what they are and what type of traffic that is coming from that side. So whenever we are referring to the internet word, that is actually, we say it is as outside, and this side is called as a inside. If you talk about the Cisco, in the these are the no, terminologies in terms of the Cisco. In the Cisco, we call it as inside or outside. But the and in Cisco as well, we are having that security level. In Cisco, we are having the security level for the inside, that is 100, and for outside it is 0. So that does not matter. That is just focus on the Cisco. But still, the concept of being the zone, we call it as a zone, that this is an inside zone and that is an outside zone. So whenever we send the traffic from inside to outside, that is, we call it as, we can easily go from there, right? Because this is the trusted zone. We, some of the vendors also call it as a trust and untrust. Fine. So these are just terminologies. Some of the vendors call it as inside outside, some of the vendors call it as trust and untrust, but the concept is same, that internet is untrusted and our known, or we guys are called as a trusted or inside network. Whenever any of the traffic is originated from the inside to outside, that is by default allowed. Only in Cisco, not only in Cisco, I should say in Cisco ASA firewall. Okay. In some of the vendors, that is allowed also, but not allowed from the outside. In some of the vendors, it is not allowed from any of the side. Neither you can from here to there, outside to inside, or inside to outside. Neither of the side is allowed. So that is just depending on the type of vendors, and but still we are going to define a policy for that one, that whether this type of traffic is allowed from inside to outside or from outside to inside. But the main thing that I want to tell you, that whenever the traffic is originated from the inside to outside, that is referring to the policy. Okay, we are checking the policy. It means that whenever any connection is originated from the inside, connection originated from inside, it means that it is sending a SYN bit on. Now you might be wondering what is this SYN bit on. So for that purpose, you have to go to the flags of the IP header. There are some of the flags like SYN, ECK, another is like set, reset, fin, urgent. There are 6 flags, right? Mainly, I think any of the missing, or but most important for this connection establishments are the SYN and ECK. So whenever any of the computer is initiating the connections, they are sending the SYN bit on. And if this is a computer and here might be a web server to whom they are trying to connect, right? So for that purpose, they will send a SYN bit on. They will get a reply with the SYN plus ECK, and again the reply will go as an ECK. SYN will go from here, SYN plus ECK this side, and then again ECK. So if they all connection goes through or allowed, then the connection is established. Connection is established, it means that we are having one connection, right? So whatever the connections we are having, that is being stored in the firewall with the name of connection table. It means that if any of the user from, let's say, user A has initiated a connection or requested any of the traffic, so once the SYN bit goes from here to there, from inside to outside, it means that information is being stored in the connection table inside a firewall. So it's like that whenever you have requested any of the thing, so by default the return traffic is allowed from the firewall, irrespective of the policy and rules whether it has been allowed or not, right? So there might be some rules that, as I said, that in some cases it is from inside to outside traffic is allowed, and from outside to inside, outside to inside it's not allowed. But irrespective of that is allowed or not allowed, if from one side the traffic has been passed, it means that we are having a rule that has allowed that one. So return traffic will be by default allowed because of this connection table. We also call it as a stateful inspection. Stateful inspection, as some of the vendors also call it as an state table. In place of the connection table, they call it an state table, but the concept is same in all of the vendors. Whatever I'm telling you right now, that is applicable in all of the firewalls, irrespective of any vendor it is. Okay, so that's common thing I'm telling you right now. And whenever I'm telling anything specifically for the vendor, then I tell you that only this is applicable for the Cisco SA or Fortinet or Palo Alto or Checkpoint or Juniper SRX or anything, whatever it can be, right? So we know that what is the stateful inspection. Stateful inspection is like we have requested any of the traffic that has been allowed. The return traffic is by default allowed because we know it that someone from inside is already requested for that traffic. In simple terms, we can also understand like this one. Let's say this is your home, okay, and you are inside your home. If all of a sudden anyone knocks your door, that you might be wondering, right? Because that outside world is full of ambiguities and you don't know what is inside. But any of the person knocks your door, you are quite surprised at who has come at your door. You have to check it whether you want to let them inside or you have to deny it. Sorry, I cannot open door for you. But if any of your member from your home is outside, let's suppose this has gone outside, then obviously if it is he is coming back to your home, then you just see it Okay, oh my God, this is my family member. Obviously, you are welcome here. You can come inside. So it is like a stateful inspection. Perfect. So that is basically about the firewalls. That's how they work it. Okay. Now let's focus on the checkpoint. That what are their functionalities. So the very first thing that checkpoint is having default deny rule. Default deny. What does this mean? Irrespective of inside or outside, whatever the it is, none of the traffic is allowed to pass from here to there or there to here. So I have to make a policy or rule to allow that traffic either from inside to outside or outside to inside. We are also having some concept like DMZ. We call it as a demilitarized zone. So these are the zones. In fact, the in between, no, the security level is higher than the 0 1. It's like if I talk about the 0 is the internet and 100 is the trusted one, that is inside, that is outside, and DMZ might be having the security level of 50. So this is higher than, more trusted from 0 but less trusted from the inside zone. So that we also are having the concept of DMZ. So I don't care because that is just a type of zone or security zone, we can say. And another thing, very good thing, because I'm quite discussing zone and you might be not sure that what does this zone means. I think some of you might have understood now that what I'm referring to. But the good thing is that in case of checkpoint, there is no concept of zone. Means we can say checkpoint is not a zone based firewall. Okay, not zone based firewall. So you don't have to worry about that, what that zone is. If you know it, then well and good. And if you don't know, then not to worry. Fine. So, and third thing about the OS, operating system of the checkpoint, we call it as a Gaia portal or Gaia operating system. That this Gaia operating system is basically hardening of the Linux operating system. Means that we can say that earlier it was a Linux machine, but we have made some changes in the Linux operating system and then we made it as an Gaia, and we made according to the uh, firewall. Means whatever the rules I have to allow or deny, not rules like in fact, because that is a different part, that's configuration part, but to support such type of functionality, whatever we have done, so we have developed from the Linux to Gaia. So in short, I can say that that is a Gaia is running on the Gaia operating system, and currently I think the version is 80 was there, 80.x, but now I have just seen now 81.x is also available. So these are the latest running operating system, Gaia for the checkpoint. Okay, so yeah, the basic understanding is fine now. Let's know more about this one. So in terms of the, we can say the implementation, we are having three components of the checkpoint firewall. The first one we call it as a gateway. Another one is manager. We also call it as smart manager, or you can say secure manager. I'm writing just a manager. Okay, manager, that's fine. And another most important part is smart control. We call it as a SC or smart control, that's fine. So the connectivity of them is like this, this is basically a gateway is like a actual firewall where you will be configuring all the policies. Okay, all the interfaces coming here to there, nothing, whatever you will be doing, you will be just doing from the gateway. And this gateway is connected to manager via SIC. We can also say it as a secure internal communication. That is connected via SIC, and you can access this gateway as well as manager via secure, or in fact I should say smart control. That is basically a Java based application software, we can say. From there we just access both of the things. So we can access directly gateway as well. We can access gateway via manager as well. So we can access via Gaia portal, we can say. So Gaia portal is nothing, just a name for that one. If you have worked in some of the firewalls, you might be seeing that we just open a GUI of the any of the firewall in the Chrome or any of the browser. So that is just we can say for the case of the checkpoint, we call it as a Gaia portal that we are opening in the Gaia portal. So that's the how we are accessing the gateway and manager. If I talk about the implementation, so there are three types of implementation. That's how we can implement with these three things. The first thing is, because the thing is that this gateway and manager, they are basically the same device. We can say the same hardware or VM, because right now they are available in the VMs as well. So you can say that they are the same device, but it depends on our configuration or our requirement, that you can configure any of the device like a manager or gateway, or you can also configure them as a manager plus gateway. Means the same device can work as a both manager plus gateway. So let's just talk more about the with the diagram, so that will make you a clear understanding what actually I'm talking about. So let me just draw a diagram. That's a quite simple one. What I just told you, that first one, that we are having the manager, we are having the gateway like this, and the smart control SC as it is. So that's the one configuration, that one way. That's how we can make the connectivity gateway. So that is an actual firewall. And with the manager, there are some limitations, like right, that whatever the changes you can make from the manager, you can just do the device setting only. Device settings means what you can do, you can do the system update, you can do IP routing like OSPF or RAPE. Any of the routing protocols you can configure via this manager. And NTP protocol, if you NTP, you have to configure the NTP IP, or you have to give some time for that one. Another thing, like whatever the device setting is there, that you can configure through manager. Obviously they are going to be pushed to the gateway, that is the actual firewall, but that's how you do the configuration on this manager. But if you talk about the uh, security policy or the NAT configuration, or we can say any other traffic related things, that you have to configure directly to the gateway via smart control. Obviously you have to use the smart control, but that directly will be going to be in the gateway, that you do not configure on the manager. It's like you are logging in, so you will directly log in to the gateway and you will do this type of configuration policy, NAT, or in fact you can say the VPN, that's also comes here, so that you will directly configure on the gateway. But this device type of configuration, you will log into the manager, and that you will be configured on the manager. So this is the first deployment type. That's what I said, that separate manager and separate gateway. The second thing is, like you configure in the same device, you configure manager plus gateway, and that is connected via SC. So that's another way. Second type of deployment, we can also call it as a what it called standalone. This type of deployment is called as a standalone deployment. Okay, and this is called as dedicated. I think the name, sorry, distributed, not dedicated. This is distributed deployment, and this type of deployment is called in a standalone. So whatever you configuration you want to do, either you want to make that device work as a manager or gateway, or you want to deploy as a separate manager plus gateway. So that is basically whenever you install that device or use that a first time, it goes and uh, automatic setup wizard, and in that wizard it just asks you that you want to use that device as a manager, or you want to use that device as a gateway, or you want to choose them you want to function this device as a both the devices. So there's check boxes. You can choose any of the options, either this or that, or you can choose both, so as per your requirement. But this standalone type of the deployment is basically on the smaller enterprise networks where you are don't you're not having a very large database, so in our large connections. So in that cases only this type of a standalone deployment works. Otherwise we deploy this type of, another type of deployment is also there. There we are having similar type to distributed, means that we are having SC, we are having one manager, and from that manager we are uh, managing multiple gateways. So that type of things is also possible. We are managing the multiple gateways from there, or here also it can be like manager plus gateway, and remaining from there we can just managing multiple gateways from there. So this type of deployment is called as an hybrid deployment. So there's three types of deployment. We also call it as a three-tier architecture, three-tier deployment or three-tier architecture. So because there are three steps for that one, right? So that's how we use that one. So I think it's time to show you the actual thing that how it works. So let me open my I think you guys will be having that EVNG setup in your machines, or if you don't have, so I will tell you that how to do it. But before that, let me show you today first that what actually it is and how it works. So let me start my VM first, and then I will show you the actual uh, checkpoint, that how actually it looks like. That's the most important part. So let me first log in it. Let me open the browser as well meanwhile to save the time. So this is my website, and if you want to go to the checkpoint firewall, you can just click it here, checkpoint firewall. And if you don't want, you can directly go to the freshdeveloper.online/checkpoint.php. You will be redirected to this page. Okay, so here I have just completed day one, so I have included the first video here, right? And if you, after that one, I will include the second video as well, so you can click it and you can just watch the video. I will add day two after I record and complete it. Okay, so meanwhile let me log check that if I have logged into the, yeah, perfect, I'm logged in, and my IP address is 192.168.29.45. So 192.168.20.45, that's perfect. So that's how I'm logging the AVNG. And if you do not have the AVNG setup in your laptop, so I can guide you if you need. If you don't need, then it's okay. But let me tell you that you can just download the VMware setup. If you don't have, you can download the EVNG community edition, not the professional one, because that's the paid. And you can also download the image, checkpoint image, free of cost, and you can just go for the setup. So that's not a really difficult task, but still if you need, I can tell you. And the password is, I know, and let me open if it works, else I have to log out and log in again. Yeah, so that's how it is. This is my checkpoint firewall. Let me make it on and let's see if extension DLL open. Okay, will it open? No, it will not. The thing is that it's working very fine with the HTML console, but I have logged on with the native console, so sometimes it creates a problem with that one. So let me log in with the HTML5 console. It should be fine with that. Yeah, here it is, setting up all, everything is going fine with the firewall. And let me just log in once it give me the login option. Obviously, that's how I can log in it, right? So meanwhile, let me explore more about Fetch Developer, starting CP boot, edit. So that's how it is. I think you don't need more about that one. You're already aware. And yeah, let me tell you some more thing. So meanwhile, you can, for the connectivity, if you want to reach me or if you have any questions to reach me, you can directly message me on Instagram. You can follow me on, you can send me a message, or you can also join my Facebook page, not Facebook. Yeah, this is Facebook group, not page. This is a group. So you can click on that and you can join it. And I have that WhatsApp group as well. If you want, you can join it. And the most important part, yeah, I just forgot to mention that one. That every Sunday I'm available at 4 to 5, that is IST, Indian Standard Time. So you can just check what time it is as per your convenient time, and I will be meeting you on Google Meet. Okay, so I will be available on that time every Sunday. In fact, I am getting available because before that I was running that CCNA course. So I'm having, but this is just for the questions. If you are having any questions, then only you join it, because I'm not taking any new topic or sessions over there. So that is just a question answer session. Or if you have any suggestions or anything, you can just join me, or you want to talk to me, you can join on this link. Okay, I will be available. So meanwhile, my checkpoint is logged in now, I guess. Yeah, here it is. So let me just check the interfaces that show inter no, what, why it is not allowing me to interface ethernet 0. No, why it is showing that it's not allowed? It should be allowed, my friend. What I can run: show command, show configuration, show config. No, anyways, not to worry, because I'm going to use the what is called GUI, right? So let me log in with the, it's perfect. IP address was, I remember, 192.168.29.80. If I remember it correctly, if it is working fine, it should be connected. And if not, then we will troubleshoot that why it is not. Most probably it should be connected. Samita Shetty reacts to tweet claiming. I think this is Microsoft giving me such type of informations. Dot 80, 192.168. I think that is the correct one. Why it is taking time? Ping 192.168.29.80. Yeah, ping is fine. 192.168. That should be connected, I think. Yeah, here it goes. So continue, unsafe, and here I have to put username and the password. Perfect. So this is the Gaia configuration wizard. Okay, so this is I'm logging it first time because I have not made any of the configuration in the firewall. So it redirect me to the first time configuration wizard. So I can click it next. Now it is saying continue with the R81.10. That's what I told you, right? That it is having the uh, I can say that OS number R81. So that's quite okay. That's what we discussed. The previous one was R80, but when I tried to download the image, then R81 was available. So I thought to go for the latest one. Why to go for the old one, right? So install from the Checkpoint Cloud, install from the USB device. I don't want to do from the any of them. Continue with the 81.10. So right now you see that the IP addresses where I'm having that 192.168.29.80. So this is for the Ethernet 0. So we are having four interfaces in this one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and by default the Ethernet 0 is treated as a management IP address. So Ethernet 0, the IP address what I am given, that 192.168.29.80, you might be seeing that from the same I am being logged on, right? 29.80, and the subnet mask is as usual, and this gateway does not matter if you do not give it, but this is the default gateway. If in order to access the internet connection, I have just given it. If you don't want, then you don't have to give. That's not mandatory one. But yes, the IP address and subnet mask are the most important. Configuration to the interface to connect to the Ethernet, optional. So obviously it's saying it's an optional, then why I'm going to do it? Not at all. Host name, gateway 0100. I can give it. If you want, you can give it some other thing. It's just totally on your choice. Okay, you can give it. Set time automatically. So this is the Kolkata Asia GMT plus 5:30. Yeah, this is quite good. Who are just want to know the time. So I'm in the time zone of GMT plus 5:30. If you want to join me live on Sunday, you can watch your time according to this, and we will talk to you. Right? Not we will. In fact, I will talk to you. Yeah, some of the more guys, some other guys join, then we will talk together. Next, and yeah, so now it is asking that security gateway and security management. So the first option is I'm okay with that one. I don't want to go for the multi. Yeah, that is the most important part. That's what I was talking about. That whenever we come to that wizard, that now it is asking us that you want to work this device as a security gateway, or you want to work this device as a secure management, right? We discussed two things, right? Gateway and manager. So now this is the time to choose it, that whether you want to function this device as a security gateway, or you want to function this device as security management. So if you choose both options like this, security gateway and security management, and you click next, so this device will be functioning as a both security gateway and management. But if you want to function this device as a security management, so you can uncheck this option and then you click next. Okay, and obviously if you want to function this device as security gateway, you can click on this and then you can choose. So it's just totally on your choice that what you want to make this work, and then you can go ahead. And let me go to function it as a first. What I want to do, you can just choose. Let's see that what is going to do. Use Gaia administrator admin. If you want to use the administrator login, what from the credentials I logged on, so you can choose this one, use a Gaia administrator admin. Or if you want to choose some other user logon, you can create a name, and let's suppose you can create a let's say super user, and you can give the password and confirm password. Then that will be the administrator, not the logged on user from where we have just put the uh, credentials like admin and whatever that was, right? So it's just totally on you that what you want to do, and then you just click next. Oh, let me choose this one and click next. Any IP address, GUI clients can log to the security. So that's for security. If you want to do it, it's okay. If you do not, you can do it. So once you click on finish, this device starts configuration. It takes time, 5 to 10 minutes, but I want to save that time and I just want to cancel it. And right, so but still I can show you that how does it actually look like, the GUI. So this is basically the GUI. That's how it looks like. So here you are having an option like network management, right? You're having for the configuration of the setting, proxy, time, messages, LLDP, whatever you want to configure, right? You are having the options for the network interfaces, right? We are having the 4 network interfaces, 0, 1, 2, 3, and the IP address we have given whatever that is here. If you want to configure the other IP addresses, you can just yeah, here from here you can do some more configuration if you want to do it, right? So we can configure the static routes from here. So that's how it is actually. You can we will explore day by day, because this is the first in fact not the first day, I can say first day. So that's I want to show you that how actually the device or GUI looks like, right? After that one we can just uh, we have to learn all these functionalities, that what they are and how they are being configured, and how actually they work. So I think that's enough for today. And if you have any questions, so I have, for that I have already discussed a lot of things, that how to reach me for the questions, right? So that's okay for the day. Let's meet on the next class and learn more about the checkpoint. Okay guys, see you soon in the next video.